Welcome to our channel, The Republic Road. International Women's Day 2018. Today is International Women's Day. Why do we celebrate this day? What is the importance and need to acknowledge women on this day? And the bigger question is why one day alone? It started in the year 1908 when a huge crowd of 15,000 women marched through New York City demanding equal voting right for them. Later, in the year 1911, a group of 100 women for countries across the world decided to celebrate International Women's Day for the first time on March 19. The day was later changed to 8th of March. The motive of achieving full gender equality for women in today's world seems lost. Women still do not represent equal numbers in the field of business or politics. Figures suggest that globally women are not doing well in the field of education, health and employment. Also, violence towards women still remains and is growing worse with every passing day. World Economic Forum has stated that the gender gap will not fill up in the next 100 years if we continue to work on the same old principles. The gender gap is so bad that if the working hours and the wages are compared with that of men, it seems women work for free for at least 50 days every year. Even in developed countries like UK, women earn half as much as men in the same sector and designations. Time magazine's Person of the Year were the Silence Breaker, a collective name for people speaking out against sexual and gender injustice towards women. Google has honored women by highlighting games and apps developed by its own female developers. In Google's own word, they are celebrating women who inspires them. Starting from 1996, different themes have been adopted for Women's Day. The theme for that year was celebrating the past, planning for the future. One of the most promising themes was for 2010, Equal Rights, Equal Opportunities, Progress for All. The theme was 2017, focused on equal representation for women by 2030, and it goes like Women in the Changing World of Work, Planet 50-50 by 2030. The theme for 2018's Women's Day is Time is Now. Rural and urban activities transforming women's life have time and again broken the stereotype and mindset that studies are gender specific. Following are some of the women who managed to break the gender barrier and have shown excellence in every scope of life. Like Avni Chaturvedi. Avni Chaturvedi became the first female Indian fighter pilot to take a solo flight in MiG-21. Arundhati Bhattacharya is the chairperson of the largest public sector bank, State Bank of India. She successfully led the merging of associate banks with SBI. Mithali Raj. Indian women's cricket team made it to the finals of ICC World Cup 2017 under captaincy of Mithali Raj. Medical student Manushi Chillar bagged the Miss World crown for India after 17 years. She is labelled the actual beauty with brains. Chanda Kochar. Chanda Kochar leads the largest private sector bank in India and has known to increase the operating profits by 11 and standalone profits by 1. Indira Gandhi was the first and the only female Prime Minister of India and is known for her firm decisions and aiding first nuclear test of India. She is nicknamed Iron Lady of India. Meenal Sampath. Meenal Sampath is an employee at India leading space agency ISRO, working hard on India's first mission to Mars. Vimla Mehra. Vimla Mehra is the first woman posted as Special Commissioner Police of India. She launched the Women's Helpline number 1091 across the country. Whether it be the business line, administration, science and technology or public life, Women have left their mark in every field and proved that it only needs a will to do a job, not the muscles. Why women of today is lacking behind in spite of all the efforts that are being taken? There are various factors that pulled them behind. Here is an analysis of some of those factors. First, unsuccessful government schemes. Government announces a dozen schemes with every budget, but only a few manage to reach the people. Most government schemes started with a bang but seem to fade away with every passing day. It is only at the end of the budget term when people get to know that a particular scheme was introduced but never reached the people. The Constitution of India indicates that the government could make special provision for women and we need it. Some schemes provided compulsory education to younger girls and some claim to provide medical assistance to women in labor. There are various schemes focusing on bringing women into mainstream but have failed to accomplish what was aimed. There are various reasons of failure of these schemes. One big reason is to inbuilt corruption that blocks the process. Another reason is lacking of willingness of government officers to make people aware of the same. The Women's Reservation Bill has been sitting in the Parliament since 2008 and it is still unclear when it will see the light of day. Second, lack of awareness. There is no shortage of proper government schemes. The only roadblock present there is lack of awareness and proper mechanisms to deliver the essential information to people who could benefit from the schemes. Most women in India tend to get busy with the household businesses and never get to know much about the government schemes. Illiteracy is another factor which hampers the growth of women in India. The percentage of educated women in India has always far less than that of educated men. It is clear for the example of women doing well in their field of work that women can do exceptionally well if they are provided proper resources and guidance. Women have long been victim of gender bias and are told not to try certain things because those are apparently meant for men alone. There is a saying, one cannot succeed or fail unless one has tried something. Friendly fire. Women sometimes work by the principle of carbs in their bottle, where when one carb reaches the edge of the bottle and is about to jump out, other carbs would grab its limbs and pull it back. It is often seen that one woman who has gone through a rough episode never tends to extend a helping hand to another woman. Though it is not right to categorize all the women, but it seems that if one section is willing to empower itself, it needs to get together and do it together. It is better to fight the system rather than fighting with each other. Fighting each other rather than fighting the system. Restricting women to household works. Female infanticide. India is facing another problem in form of female infanticide. People have made up their minds that having a male child is necessary to further the family line and young parents avoid having girl child. People use all kinds of measures to achieving the same. Parents tend to determine the gender of the child in womb and kill it before it is born. There have been cases of killing infants as well. The national child sex ratio stands at low level of 940. Some states like Haryana and Punjab are doing even worse, where the ratio has fallen to alarming level and far below the 900 mark. Crime against women. Whether it is the domestic violence or the physical abuse that women face outside, on roads and at workplace and every possible place has not gone down even in the modern world of today. Not only it torments them, but it stops women from going out without fear and do what they wish to do. The number of incidents of rape have not gone down. The incidence of molestation of young girls has increased many folds in recent years. Mistreatment of women need to be curbed, not only their homes but other places as well. Let's celebrate this Women's Day by not celebrating it for one day alone, but by celebrating it for 365 days. This change should begin from our homes. Every woman from every relation, whether it is our mother, sister, wife or daughter, should the respect and freedom that they deserve. We think that women are physically weak, but they are not. They are rather made mentally weak right from the start. Let's not discuss but do it. Namaskar.